Everyone thinks the Renaissance was about art. They're wrong. It was built on a financial invention that made the Medici untouchable. In 1397, Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici opened a bank in Florence that would reshape how money moved across Europe. But this wasn't a vault with guards and ledgers. It was something far more radical, a network. The Medici didn't just lend money, they created a system of correspondent banking, where branches in Rome, Venice, and eventually London could transfer funds without physically moving gold. For the first time, wealth became truly mobile. Before this, moving large sums was catastrophic. A merchant shipping gold faced bandits, shipwrecks, and theft. The Medici solved this through letters of credit, a written promise that could be exchanged for funds at a distant branch. A wool trader in Bruges could pay a Medici agent there with a letter drawn on Florence, and the system balanced itself. No physical transport, no risk. Suddenly, international trade accelerated. The second innovation was double-entry bookkeeping. The Medici didn't invent it, Venetian merchants had begun using it, but they perfected and systematized it. Every transaction was recorded twice, once as a debit, once as a credit. This created accountability, no hidden losses, no phantom profits. For the first time, a bank's true health was visible on paper. This transparency attracted depositors. Wealthy families and the church itself entrusted their fortunes to Medici banks because the books proved solvency. By the 1440, the Medici operated across Europe. Their network was more reliable than most governments. They financed popes, kings, and wars. Money wasn't just stored, it was deployed strategically to shape politics. But here's where it gets intricate. The Medici also pioneered the bill of exchange, essentially a medieval futures contract. A buyer could pay for goods before delivery by purchasing a bill at a discounted rate, payable in a different currency at a future date. The Medici profited from currency fluctuation and timing. They weren't just bankers, they were arbitrageurs. The wealth this generated didn't hoard itself. The Medici became patrons, funding Brunelleschi's dome, commissioning Botticelli and Leonardo. The Renaissance wasn't a spontaneous cultural explosion. It was underwritten by financial infrastructure. Art, architecture, and banking were inseparable. Wealth created the conditions for genius to flourish. By the 16th century, Medici innovations had become the backbone of European finance. Double-entry bookkeeping spread to London and Antwerp. Letters of credit became standard. The concept of a bank as a trusted intermediary, not a moneylender, but a facilitator of capital flow, took root. Modern banking was born in Florence, not through theory, but through necessity and experimentation. The Medici eventually fell. Political missteps and family feuds undid what genius had built. But their systems endured. The architecture of modern finance, correspondent networks, double-entry accounting, currency arbitrage, credit instruments, traces directly to their innovations. They didn't just accumulate wealth. They engineered the mechanisms that made wealth accumulation systematic, scalable, and repeatable across continents. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to explore how the world's greatest fortunes were built and the systems that made them possible. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.